What if I told you there's a way to keep your home neat, without cleaning all day, without buying anything new, and without feeling exhausted? Today, I want to share the quiet habits of an 80-year-old woman living alone in a small American suburb. She doesn't have help. She doesn't have gadgets. But her home is always peaceful, always in order. Not because she's Japanese, not because it's a cultural secret, but because she's learned how to live lightly at any age. This isn't about comparing Japan and America. It's about what we all want as we grow older: a calm space, a sense of control, and a life that feels just enough. If you've ever wished your home could feel simpler, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by clutter, these 7 small habits might gently change everything. Let's begin. The first time I visited Noriko's home, I didn't expect anything special. It was a small house, old siding, a quiet street. But the moment I stepped inside, something shifted. My breath softened. The silence wasn't empty, it was comforting, as if the house itself had been waiting for her to come home. Every single day. There was no clutter, no piles of things to get to later, just a gentle sense of order. Not perfect, not showy, just present. Her slippers pointed toward the door. The tea towels were folded neatly, and the living room felt like it knew its purpose: to let her rest, not rush. That feeling didn't come from money or a new renovation. It came from care. Quiet, steady, everyday care. And what struck me most was this: Noriko never said she cleaned all the time. She just lived with habits that made her home feel light. Habits that didn't wear her out. Habits that didn't depend on her age or energy. In that moment, I realized this video isn't about decorating tips. It's about something deeper: how the way we treat our space slowly shapes the way we feel inside it. So let's look at the first habit. It may sound simple, but once you try it, you'll understand why her home feels the way it does. Have you ever spent 10 minutes looking for your keys, only to find them in a coat you haven't worn in weeks? Noriko never did. In her home, every single item had one simple rule: it has a place to return to. The remote control always sat in the same corner of the table. Her slippers always faced the same direction. Even the towel on the rack was centered. Quietly, intentionally. When I asked her if she spent hours organizing every day, she smiled and said, "No, I just bring things back home." That sentence stayed with me, because I realized most of my own mess wasn't from chaos. It was from tiny decisions left undone. A coat thrown over a chair, a cup left near the sink, mail that sat on the table for days. Nothing big, but together they became noise: visual, mental, emotional. Noriko didn't fight clutter. She prevented it from ever taking hold. She said, just like people, things feel lost when they don't belong. If you give them a place, they rest. And so do you. I tried it. Just one small change: returning the remote to the same spot after each use. And oddly enough, that little habit made my mind feel lighter. No searching, no forgetting, no silent frustration building up. Because being organized isn't about doing more. It's about letting less drift away. So before you think tidiness is about effort, ask yourself this: do the things in my home know where they belong? If not, the next habit might help even more, especially if you often delay small tasks and tell yourself, "I'll get to it later." It was just a tiny drop of tea. Noriko stood up to pour more for us, and when one little splash landed on the table, she didn't pause, didn't sigh. She just picked up a cloth, wiped it gently, and sat back down like nothing had happened. I asked her, "Why not just leave it and clean everything later?" She said quietly, "If something takes less than a minute, I do it now. It's lighter that way." It wasn't a rule. It was a rhythm, a way of being. And I began to see what she meant. Because in my own life, that same drop of tea would have stayed. Then the next cup. Then the plate from lunch. Then the unopened mail. Until suddenly, the whole table felt heavy. And so did I. We often tell ourselves, "I'll do it later." But later doesn't come peacefully. It comes with guilt, with clutter, and with the silent weight of unfinished things. Noriko explained, I don't like going to bed with little tasks chasing me. One by one, I do them, gently, and let them go. That sentence was a lesson in itself, because this isn't just about tidying, it's about protecting your mind. As we age, our energy becomes precious, and carrying a mental to-do list everywhere only makes the days feel heavier. Now I try it too. If it takes under a minute, wipe it, fold it, rinse it, return it. And the house stays clearer. But more importantly, I do. You don't need to clean the whole kitchen, just rinse that one cup. Don't fold all the laundry. Just smooth out the towel. And if that still feels like too much, wait until you hear about the next habit. Because the next one asks even less of you. Just 5 quiet minutes before bedtime. At the end of our visit, I stood up to say goodbye. But Noriko raised a gentle hand and said, Just a moment. I need to finish the day. She walked into the kitchen. No rush, no stress. In 5 quiet minutes, she put the snacks away, rinsed 2 teacups, wiped the table, and straightened the chairs we had just used. Then she smiled. Not a tired smile, but a satisfied one. Now, she said, the day is complete. It wasn't about cleaning. It was about closing. She told me, I don't wait for the house to become messy to clean. I just return it to peace before I rest. And suddenly, I saw myself. How many nights had I left dishes in the sink? How many times had I told myself, I'll handle it tomorrow, only to wake up to a kitchen that greeted me with yesterday's mess? I didn't realize it, but I was beginning each new day already behind. Noriko wasn't trying to be perfect. She was simply setting the stage, so that when she opened her eyes each morning, her space said, You're ready. You've already begun. And the truth is, 5 minutes isn't much. One clean counter, one rinsed cup, one chair turned back into place, not for beauty, but for peace. As seniors, we may not have the strength for deep cleaning, but 5 quiet minutes? We all still have that. Since then, I've tried it myself. Before bed, I pick 3 small things, just 3. And the next morning, it's not just the house that feels ready, it's me. Now, if you're wondering, but my home feels too small, too mixed up, too crowded, then Noriko's next habit might surprise you. Because it's not about having more space, it's about giving each space a clear voice. One day, as I walked around Noriko's home, I noticed something that felt strange, in the best way. Every space had a job. The dining table had only one purpose: meals, no scattered papers, no phones, no unread mail. The living room had one chair, one tea table, and a few well-loved books stacked neatly on a shelf. No clutter, no decorations, just to fill space. So I asked, Don't you ever run out of places to put things? She smiled and said, I don't need more places. I just need each place to know what it's for. Simple, but powerful. Because I thought of my own home. The couch had become my office. The kitchen counter held my laptop. The dining table doubled as storage. And suddenly, it made sense why my house never felt restful. When a space loses its purpose, it loses its peace. Noriko explained, when you mix eating, resting, and working in the same place, your body forgets what it's supposed to do. But if you protect each space's role, you protect your own rhythm. That hit me deeply, because many of us, especially as we get older, start to feel lost, not just emotionally, but spatially. The home feels too small, too messy, too overwhelming. But the problem isn't always size, it's confusion. The mail on the table, the laundry on the couch, the TV in the bedroom, they blur the lines. And blurred lines create blurred minds. So I tried something small. I cleared the dining table and promised myself, from now on, this is only for eating. No laptop, no mail, just meals. And suddenly, meals felt like a moment again. Not multitasking, not rushing, just eating and being. Your home doesn't need more square feet. It just needs clearer boundaries. Because when each space has a voice, they don't fight. They don't compete. They work together to make your day smoother. Now, if you're thinking, I'd love to live like that, but mornings are the hardest for me, then Noriko's next habit might feel like a soft answer. It starts not with the sunrise, but with what you do the night before. Noriko didn't rush her mornings. She didn't stumble around looking for keys. She didn't sigh in front of her closet. She didn't pour tea in a rush and forget to eat breakfast. And the reason was simple. She prepared for tomorrow, tonight. Each evening, I watched her spend just 10 minutes. She laid out her clothes, folded a handkerchief, and placed it gently on a chair, rinsed the teacup, set a glass of water by her bed, and checked that every door was locked with care. It was quiet. It was small. But it was a ritual of respect for the woman she would be in the morning. She told me, morning is when the mind is most fragile. So I clear a path for myself. I found that so beautiful because I thought about my own mornings, rushing to find socks, reboiling the kettle, wondering where I left my phone, starting the day not with peace, but with catching up. And I realized the chaos didn't come from the day itself. It came from how I ended the one before. So I tried it, just one thing, filling my water bottle before bed. And the next morning, it was already waiting for me. It felt small, but it meant something. It meant I cared for myself, even when I was too tired to care. That's what Noriko had learned. That preparation isn't discipline. It's not about control. It's about kindness. To your future self, to your aging body, to the part of you that wants to wake up slowly, without panic, without pressure. As we grow older, we don't need more energy. We need more softness. And sometimes the softest gift is knowing that the next morning has already been made a little easier. Now, if that idea moves you, her final habit might move you even more. Because it's not about doing, it's about feeling. A habit that turns a house into a home and a routine into something sacred. It happened so quietly, I almost missed it. After we finished our last cup of tea, Noriko rinsed the cup, dried it with a soft cloth, and then she pressed her hands together in front of it. Just for a second. A small bow, a silent moment. I asked her what she was doing. She smiled and said, "I'm thanking the cup for serving me today." That stopped me. Not because it was unusual, but because it was so gentle, so human. In Noriko's home, nothing was treated like just a thing. The teacup, the slippers, the chair. Each one had a role. Each one had her respect. She told me, I once lived with very little. So now I don't keep things I don't use, but I always thank the ones that stay with me. I looked around my own home later that week. There were so many things I had kept, but never truly appreciated. A plate from my grandmother, a pen I've used for years, even the coat that keeps me warm every winter. And yet, I had never stopped, even once, to thank them. Noriko's home didn't feel peaceful because it was clean. It felt peaceful because it was full of kindness, not just toward people, but toward everything that walked with her through life. Gratitude was her way of anchoring herself, of turning routines into rituals, objects into companions, space into sanctuary. And I believe that's what many of us are really looking for. Not perfection, not emptiness, but meaning in even the smallest things. So tonight, when you fold a towel, or turn off the lamp, or place your glasses on the table, pause for just 1 second. Say quietly, "Thank you for being with me today," because that one habit might be the softest thread that holds your home and your heart together.